All right, so the next thing is file IO and tables. Files in COBOL are what other people would call tables or databases, I think. It's all structured and everything was going to be in records that are fixed length. So you can have data like this, a 2-digit number and then a name. So you can put that in a file here. And when you read it, you specify, I'm going to have an employee is going to be my name for these records. And I'm going to assign it to this file, data1, which is the name of the file I stored locally. And you can have sequential and random access and some other choice, because this is all so old, it thinks your data may be on a tape. And by the way, it really is. I was doing a big financial job years ago as a database analyst for PricewaterhouseCoopers, and they had to go through the last 7 years of 50 million credit card records, and you can't fit that on a hard drive anywhere. It was all on tape, and it took 24 hours to run, and I imagine it was all in COBOL. So that's, you have this sequential access things. So here you define what an employee is. And remember, we talked about this indentation stuff. The indentation is not important. The numbers are what matters, but the indentation helps you understand it. So this specifies an employee record that has an EID, which is a 2-digit number, and then a name, which is a 10-letter character. So that's the structure of a record in this file. And so that's the game there. Here's how you read it. You open that input and then you perform until the end and move it into the structure. So this, there's quite a bit of overhead in the layout to read a file record by record. All right.
By the way, Sam.
Yeah.
Sam, you're absolutely right. I had a relative who worked there in the 70s and 80s, and he was telling me about how when the building caught on fire or the fire alarm went off or something, and he had to grab the tape reels and run downstairs, and he was standing out on the sidewalk in Market Street, just like holding these tape reels, saying like, I saved the data, and
yes.
everything else like burned up or something.
Oh yeah. And I remember hearing about tape drives that were so big and heavy, or those are discs, and they would kick out concrete wall out when they broke. Anyway, so then there's tables. You can make another data structure beyond files called tables, and it looks like this. It really is quite you have 3 layers. You have a table, then you have with a number 5 to indicate a lower level of subdivision. You have rows that occur 3 times, and then each row contains a header and then a cell which occurs 3 times. So when you're all done, you can take this data here, 1 ABC, 2 DEF, 3 GHI, and that will go into this table structure. So you end up with a tic-tac-toe board, 3 rows, ABC, DEF, GHI. So that's how you make a 2-dimensional array in COBOL, which you can call a table. And so you can now write a COBOL program that will tell you whether you have won at tic-tac-toe or not, taking this as input. And then you can solve other things like a substitution cipher. This is the @bash cipher where you map the alphabet onto the alphabet backwards. And then you can start doing brute force cryptography. This is a common way to make substitution ciphers. You take a keyword and put it here, then you put all the letters that are left in order, and now you have a system that can change these letters into those letters. And so you can try keywords until you break your way into these ciphers, and there's a series of challenges there. So those are files and tables in COBOL.